Here we go. Just act naturally. You'll get used to how it's going. Okay. Here we go. Oh, hey, it's good to see you again. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of See It Again Cinema. My guest tonight is someone I've known my entire life, and that is my dad, Sam.
Hello.
Yeah, so tonight we are going to watch Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, directed by Stanley Kubrick, available in this nice Criterion Collection edition. How old were you when you first saw this movie?
The first time I saw it completely was my freshman year, sophomore year at UNL, University of Nebraska-Lincoln. They put on for the students a movie night on Friday nights because most students didn't have a television in their room. There was no, unless you wanted to pay to go to a movie. And this was one that they happened to run early in my first year there, so I got to watch it in glorious black and white. Am I ruining the plot?
No.
Okay. So that's the first time I saw it. And I was just
Yeah, it does make an impression.
Yeah, it does. And then I've seen it obviously several times on television, but I don't think I've sat down and watched it all the way through for a long time.
Yeah, and surprisingly, funnily enough and sadly enough, this film seems just as relevant as when it first came out as a piece of global satire. I'm looking forward to seeing it because back when we were young and we'd send you out after working all week to go get the pizza and a video rental, we were usually wanting you to bring something back like, I don't know, Operation Dumbo Drop or some dumb thing. And you would come back with a movie like this. And we're like, what's this? It's in black and white. I don't think I ever thought black and white was boring because I like film noir and detectives and stuff.
I remember one time I brought back Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Oh, and you and Mark just had a fit.
Yeah, Mark is my brother.
We're not going to watch something with a gopher in it. You know. They were complaining right at the start. I should just shut up and watch it. And after 10 minutes, they were hooked.
We were better off because our dad let us see movies like Caddyshack and Blazing Saddles in middle school. I remember watching this movie and being able to follow the entire story, maybe because you were providing some explanations about Cold War power dynamics and things. I know I got in trouble in middle school because I started imitating Dr. Strangelove in a class I was really bored in. And I ended up
Which were most of the classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I ended up getting kicked out of that class, but not because of a Dr. Strangelove joke, but it was the early 90s. It was a Lorena Bobbitt joke. So,
Cutting humor.
What are you most looking forward to in rewatching this film uninterrupted on Blu-ray remastered for the first time?
I'm going to go back to when I was 8 years old, 8.5, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, and I was able to watch TV and understand what they were saying, but then I didn't understand, but everybody was so scared of Soviet missiles 90 miles away from the United States and how they were putting up. Kennedy decided to put up a barricade around around Cuba, and I thought, how are they going to build that? I mean, they'll have to start on the bottom and put the bricks together, and then they'll have to get above the water to keep the boats out. And that was my extent of my thinking on how they were building a barricade or blockade around Cuba. But I remember the upset feeling of the adults, the understanding that they had that I didn't. That'll take me back to that time just for a minute, but
You'll be okay.
yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay. It was 61 years ago. So that's good. But the past is never actually over. It's not even past. So now I do a little sign off. I'll probably have to do this 3 times.
Do what?
The sign off, and then the theme song and the movie starts. So here we go. Gotta get the snap right. It's my right finger, so okay. So do you want to do the snap? See, it's difficult to do on command.
You can't do it when you're under pressure.
Okay. Well, one more time. Well, all right. It's time to begin and watch Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb again. We'll catch you after the credits roll. 3, 2, 1. Boom! See it again, see it again. Cinema, see it again, see it again. Cinema, see it again, see it again. Cinema, see it again, see it again. And then talk about it. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We've met again. Huh?
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying we wish you Merry Christmas.
No, because the movie ends with the song,
I know.
We'll meet again. And normally I say, and we're back after the credits roll.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make an allusion to the last song.
Okay.
So just let me be Ethel Merman right here.
Okay, I'll just shut up.
No, you don't have to shut up. Just, okay. Here. Okay, take 2. We've met again. So, Dad.
Don't know where, don't know when. And that's all the lines I know.
Take 3. We've met again. Dad, what do you think watching the film again?
It was as impressive to me as the first time I saw it, which was 50 years ago.
How does this film hold up today? You know, it's been 60 years since it came out, and a lot has happened with the end of the Cold War and now current tensions between the United States and Russia. How do you feel that the film holds up today?
Oh, I think fairly well. I think today there's a lot less knowledge among people quite a bit younger than me as to the seriousness of the nuclear threat and the way the United States defended itself.
But that's just part of the human folly that the film tries to point out. Is
Yeah, you notice the
all
guys.
those fail-safes. Yeah,
You notice the guys in the plane are going through their maneuvers and their calculations, not nervous, not sweating, not saying, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." They're just doing their job.
well, and I think that's Kubrick sees the idea of when an institution, any organization, beats out that human reaction and creates a mechanization. I think the idea is they're just doing their job like a capacitor or a transistor or the copper wire, or the
But
battery terminal.
it's more than that, because it's based on, I don't want to say their indoctrination, but their the teaching and instruction they do about duty, about honor, about responsibility, and who's depending on you.
And those are all noble things, but I think what he's trying to say is what happens if that process, that mechanization, becomes so ingrained, entrenched, and is taken to such a degree that the humanity that could potentially, or the skepticism or the critical thinking skills of rational human beings, which I think are exemplified by the RAF officer Mandrake, the executive officer. He's representing that, of saying, like, look, there's nothing on the radio about a war out there. They're just playing happy music. Maybe this isn't actually the case. The thing that I noticed this time watching it is the methodical situation where they're nearing the target. They're 8 miles out, 7 miles out, 6 miles out, 5 miles out. And the camera goes through a sequence of showing each of them and repeating the instructions to show that the instructions have been made, and they update the map and the color code. And to me, I'm saying that they are just executing a program the way that a computer would. I think Kubrick was trying to say, maybe there's something scary if we've ceded this much power.
They still have the feeling deep down inside of them of what they're doing, whereas a computer doesn't.
Well, yeah.
They will follow through with their orders because they know what is being relied upon. The survival of the nation.
Even though that what they're doing is going to bring about the end of all life on Earth.
Well, it won't.
But within the story, that's what happened.
In the movie.
Yes. Is there anything that stood out to you this time that you noticed, or that maybe you hadn't in previous viewings?
I like the design of the war room because it looks so sterile and looks so orderly and looks so mechanically precise.
Mm-hmm.
And all these military officers and people in suits, ties, just sitting around and planning maybe not the end of the world, but darn near total destruction.
Yeah, that's another thing. They also seem pretty calm. You don't see any of them rushing to call their wives and children, an emergency line from the Pentagon. They are also calm.
And they wouldn't get a call out if they wanted to.
That's true. But there are very few panicked reactions.
Yeah.
As they're listening in on the phone line between President Muffley, Dimitri.
Merkin Muffley.
Merkin Muffley.
Merkin.
No, Merkin.
Merkin.
Like a pubic wig. I love that the anagram OPE for Peace on Earth.
Purity of essence.
When I saw it as a Midwesterner, I just couldn't help but see, we're sending all these nuclear warheads. Our mistake. Let me just sneak right on by and get the ranch. So this film came out in 1964. Color movies existed. Why do you think Stanley Kubrick filmed the movie in black and white?
I think the same reason they did Schindler's List in black and white. To show the seriousness, the starkness of the subject matter. Whereas with color and clear blue skies, and everything just looks more rosy, and it's cheaper. So
The framing, particularly of the pilots when they're in the U.S. Air Force plane, it looked like something like a photo feature spread from a photojournalist thing that would have been like Look or Life or Time magazine.
yeah,
And I wonder if, since most people were used to seeing that kind of photography in black and white,
Yeah.
if that also made it just seem a little more real and scary, whereas if it had been in color, it would have looked like exciting,
yeah.
maybe like the world of advertising at the time. I don't know. But I do think that Kubrick's early career as a photographer before he became a filmmaker influenced how he composed those shots. Dad, when you were watching this movie back when you were a freshman or sophomore in college, did you know that the movie ended with a big
I had
apocalyptic nuclear
no clue.
series? Okay. Do you think audiences maybe thought that it was going to have a happy ending? Like that somehow the plane was going to get shot down, but maybe they'd all become prisoners of war? Do you think that people thought that somehow the military was going to save the day at the end?
Oh, I'm sure there are people that thought that. I think part of the way of diffusing the seriousness of it was the music they chose for the closing credits, with the bombs exploding and the cheerful, optimistic, good times are on the way. We'll meet again.
Yeah. Well, some people think that that's contrapuntal, or like that it's a song that's so optimistic, but paired with something that's as nihilistic or pessimistic as nuclear war. Like that, it creates probably like a destabilized feeling.
Sort of gives a tongue-in-cheek ending the way they did it. They didn't do it with Wagner. Flight of the Valkyrie or something Hitlerish.
Is this your favorite Kubrick film?
Full Metal Jacket is one. What's the other one you mentioned?
2001: A Space Odyssey?
No,
Barry Lyndon?
no,
The Shining?
no,
Eyes Wide Shut?
no,
Clockwork Orange?
no,
Lolita?
no.
Spartacus?
Yes.
There we go. So Full Metal Jacket's your favorite Kubrick film, but you'd say Dr. Strangelove is a close second?
Yes, absolutely.
So what about you out there in YouTube land? What's your favorite Kubrick film? Let us know in the comments below. Dad, I'd like to thank you for introducing me to this film when I was only 12 years old. I think it opened up a whole big cinematic world to me. And I want to say thank you for always letting me watch R-rated movies as long as I didn't talk the way they talked or use any of the cuss words.
Yeah. And I'll deny it. If anybody corners me, I'll say I was under stress and undue influence.
You're going to have to answer the Coca-Cola company.
Yeah, that's what.
So, Dad, thanks for introducing me to some kick-ass cinema. Yeah. So, now I'm going to do the sign-off. Well, all right. That'll do it for this episode of See It Again Cinema, where old movies make magical new memories. Thanks for rewatching. We'll see you next time. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again sometime.